So the second topic that I would like to cover is how you measure performance. And, there's a lot of different tools out there. One of the ones that we love, if you're not aware of it, is this, Google's scorecard impact calculator. It will actually work out a financial impact of improving your site performance based on your own specific site metrics, like the visitors and the conversion rate and so on and so forth. So a really great tool that you can use to answer the question about, is it worth it, right? What am I going to gain if I shave 1 or 2 seconds off the performance time for my website? Aside from that, there's also a number of front-end performance tools, which people are generally familiar with. So Google Page Speed Insights, Web Page Test, there's a bunch of different ones out there, but these then allow you to measure what's happening when pages are rendered to the user. And, quite often these tools will give you suggestions for, how you can optimize and improve your site to make it faster as well. So super useful tools. A couple of things that people aren't as familiar with, perhaps because they're more kind of tech tools. And, I'm not going to get into the weeds on any of this stuff, but, application performance is a super important area. Understanding what's happening on the back end of your site, what's happening within the code, what's happening within your application stack. And there's some great tools out there like New Relic that allow you to, not only measure performance, but also troubleshoot and quickly pinpoint performance bottlenecks, and also set thresholds for performance. So if the performance drops below a certain level, you can actually generate an alert via email or Slack or whatever. Really great tool. We actually provide it as an option to our customers, but it's available directly, and there's other tools out there like it in the market as well. Moving on to infrastructure performance, again, this is maybe not considered so much, or potentially only looked at when there's a problem, right? When customers are phoning up complaining that they're getting errors, or that the site is slow. Monitoring infrastructure on an ongoing basis is also super important. So the way to think about this is you have to measure performance at each layer of the stack, and you have to do it constantly. You can't just do it when there's a problem, because by then it's too late. You've lost money, you've lost orders, you've lost customers. And that's a good segue. Sorry,
Mark, I just had a question for you there, right?
Sure.
So you spoke about site performance, then there was application performance, and then there was infrastructure performance, right?
Yeah.
Site performance is pretty much whatever we see on the front end. Is that right? If you could just sort of also quickly describe, explain the difference between these three: site versus app versus infra.
Correct, absolutely. So site is what people are seeing when a web page is rendered to them, right? So these tools will look at the process of a page downloading and being built and presented to the user. Hence, it's called front end, because it's like what the user will see. It's the experience that they have. But behind that, there's actually, how efficient is the code? How efficient is the application? How efficient are plugins or modules that you're using around that? A badly written line of code can really slow a site down. So application performance allows you to monitor from the back end, from the application side, and the code side, what's going on, and look at it through that lens. These tools are typically used by developers. They're not going to be used by marketers, right? But it's important that somebody within the business is using and owning them. And then the final one is infrastructure performance. So that's what's actually happening with your servers or your cloud servers, depending on how you've got your infrastructure set up, what's happening with your CPU, what's happening with your storage. So, these can allow you to spot issues. For example, if your CPU is occasionally spiking up to, 80, 90%, then that's going to be causing performance issues that are going to represent themselves elsewhere. So it's kind of like a jigsaw, right? By looking at it from different angles, you can kind of figure out what's going on.
Got it. So for the first one, I would call my front-end team. For the second one, I'll call my back-end team. And for the third one, I would call my cloud service provider. Is that
absolutely? That's a great snapshot. Yeah, great summary.
Perfect.